money blackout. We not here for it. We got area trade. It's time for us to pull hands together. Move our country forward. Let's stop the hate. Focus on our country. Pushing fake messages. And I'm good for us. Let us stop it on money. Yeah. Well, I Liberia. Overseas. You pay the up on the black. You feel style on social media. You are welcome. No pain. All the money blackout. Yeah, let's stop it. All the hate messages you preaching, you're not doing it to the blackout. You're doing it to the people, the poor people, the people you claim to love, the people you want to lose. Gotta work out. That on money wreck out, that is same work out. One on money black out, yeah before. Yo, yeah. That is work out. That on money wreck out, that is same work out. One on money black out, we not here for it. We got area trade. Work out, making us hate one another. Encouraging us to spoil our country need. We should go and demonstrate. And you will be there. Demonstrate yeah. Let me ask you where out. When we spoil our country, who will help us cancel? They say no, work out, say no.
Okay, folks, welcome to Talk TV Media Network. My name is Sam Gadu, along with my colleagues out there who will be joining me as well. Welcome to the show. Those of you watching us live via different platforms, please share the link and be a part of this broadcast. And it's breaking news broadcast. Well, it's a surprise, and it's not surprising either. Simply because of the government of Liberia clamping down on media institutions. I just felt like this needs to be carried or addressed by this network simply because today it's Spawn Network. Tomorrow it could be you. Next time it could be me. So that's why we're here to make sure that any attempt by government to clamp down on press freedom, it's something that is worth discussing, very, very much necessary to talk about. So we will be talking about to get information, feedback as to the actual happenings on the ground in Liberia. I have one of our guys stationed right now at the Spawn network as well, and we just want to make sure we give you all the latest information of happenings right now. Prince, welcome to the show, man. How you guys doing over there? All right.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Jasper.
Yeah. I have some technical issues here. That why you guys are not getting me. Well, are you getting me now?
Yes, I'm getting you. I'm getting you clear.
Yeah, the small phone gave me a little problem. Yeah, so
what is going on?
I'm here.
Yeah, what is going on? Talk to our viewers. What's going on, brother?
This morning we were told that Spoon Network was down, and quickly we rushed on the scene to ascertain what actually took place, or what happened, or what is the cause of the network being shut down. And when I got on the scene, I saw a group of journalists who were already on ground to gather information as to what led to the closings of the Spoon Network down. And I asked I got in contact with one of the administrator who works at Spoon FM, and then I asked him, what is the problem? What is the reason the network is being shut down? And he told me, he said, before this network could be shut down, we were not served any prior notice by the sheriff from the court, and we just saw them this morning. They bound into our offices this morning with a letter, and they just start telling us that we should leave the premises, and we're being sent to court by
okay?
one of one of the latest record, but he didn't disclose the person name to me, but it was one of the latest worker who served them the rate, and the rate is a damage rate, according to what he told me. So I'm still here to gather more information as to what really led to the sheriff closing down the network.
So as I heard as well from my end, that a raid was a couple of sheriffs from the court, and I think it is the civil law court that brought a citation of to Spoon Witherspoon. Witherspoon. But Witherspoon is not in the country. We've already heard, know that since the indictment of Witherspoon here in the U.S., Witherspoon turned everything over, as the entire management over to a new management. And so I'm very much curious and interested to see what the rate is about, because it was for an individual, and instead the entire entity was shut down. According to what I heard, that they were all on live broadcast, and the sheriffs just went into all the various studios and yanked all the wires from the transmitters and all those sensitive equipments from the studio. They just pluck everything out, and that's what happened. So I was a little bit shocked. How will you carry a citation to an individual, and then you get into the studios in people's offices and just ransack stuff? I'm very much curious. And hold on. There is a lot of noise from your end. Friends, there's a lot of noise from your side. So what's happening is, currently as we are aware, Jasper Spoon Network is shut down. The entire Spoon Network, the Fabric FM, and all the relay stations are all shut down while they were even live.
Fabric FM, Super FM, and the Spoon Network is there. It been shut down.
Okay, so that means until
and before then, we in the media, we've been getting information that the government. Are you there?
I'm there, but maybe people need to see who's talking.
Are you with me?
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Okay. Before the closure of our Spoon Network today, we were told that we have been getting some sort of information from sources, and it been in the corridor of the media, and even some citizenry in Liberia and in the diaspora been in the know that our Spoon Network was being harmed by the government. And I think it was one when we were at the press conference, and they were badly hit again by the Lord City Mayor, Jefferson Tamakochi, who also said that the government Government doesn't have any intention of closing Spoon Network down, but they only want Spoon Network to do the best thing and do the right thing. But my question has to do with if what will the law city mayor will be talking about. The government doesn't have the intention of closing Spoon Network down, and when today's sheriff from the court were seen at the network health station here to shut down the network. So this is not really a shocking news to we in the media, but it could be a shocking news to the followers because we've been hearing this as a rumor, and today it have come to a reality.
It has come to a reality. Now, folks, in media land, this is very serious. We do not take this for granted, whatever is happening to media institutions, especially few months leading to elections. We all know how large Spoon Network is operating in Liberia, and governments tend to go against other networks that speak the ills of society, that's talked about them as well. This is typical for African governments, but this is not something that is accepted. Um, if someone says freedom of speech is you speak your mind or whatever you want to speak, if you don't think someone is right, you take them to the court of law and then adjudicate all the cases, whatever it is, file a lawsuit. But to shut an entire network down, I am very much interested as to what is going on. Hey, Prince, so welcome to the show. Prince, what did you hear from your end? What's going on? Prince, are you there? What's going on? What can you tell us from your end? Oh, network issues, folks. Network issues. We just lost Prince. Um, so this is what's going on, folks. We've seen the closure of media institutions in the country. We've seen um, Patrick Horner had a media institution. His institution was shut down and closed. Um, we saw Pedro Costa institution was shut down as well. Um, this is not a good image for the country. So very, 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 very sad. Even I think I remember if my mind would serve me right, Benana Ure Network 2 was shut down sometime. I think that was under Madame Salif, if I'm not mistaken, or under the Georgia-led government as well. So my thing is, what do you guys make up of the current registration processes and announcement, Prince? You've been covering the NICA over there.
Well, thank you, CEO, and let me say big thanks to you and the entire Talk TV Media Network family for giving us the opportunities to freely uh, carry on our job. I'm currently at the Samuel Kanyando Sport Complex where uh, the candidate nomination process is taking place. As you may be aware today, the process, according to the National Election Commission, is to come to an end on today. So uh, hundreds of aspirants are here to do their process, and everything is like moving smoothly, and the place is, you know, well protected security wise, and the candidates are impressed with what is going on here. Even though we also see the presence of the folks from the ministerial angle today. The ministerial lead has been to also comments on today. So folks are here from various ministry and agency to, you know, to represent their agency. So these are some of the unfolding issues that happening here at the Samuel Kanyando Sport Complex for now.
Yeah, but what are you hearing when it comes to the close down of Spoon, the shutting down of Spoon Network by government?
Well, Well, this morning when I came out here, Samuel Kanyadu Sport Complex, I received a call from a comrades of mine who were there informing me that the Spoon FM Foundation Spoon has been closed down. According to him, the folks from the Department of Justice, that the sheriff, they went there, they served letters, and then they closed down the Spoon Foundation. Of more recent, of like I think of 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were at Mika, I also listening to the Director of Press and Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information giving us the clarity that media institutions who are not in compliance with the electoral policies will be closed down if that will, be in the interest of the Liberian people to keep the peace. They will do that. So the issue of school event being closed down for me is not a surprise because we've been hearing it in the corridor. I think there's a you know 3 months to election government trying to do that. I think there's a bit uh, it's a
Political,
big
right?
delay on the part of the government. It's not something that it's not timely on the part of the government, in my mind.
No, that's not a delay. I think that is highly political. I think from what we're looking at, what we're hearing, we do this because one of the main opposition and critics of the government is Spoon Network. So, because the government is the Spoon has been so critical on the dealings of the government, now they are coming on down. So they're shutting the mouth of the opposition. That's
Well,
definitely what they're doing.
that's my problem, CEO. I think the issue of Liberia is not like other country where the media is fully controlled by the mother union. But in Liberia, the media is controlled by the government. So if you want to close down school today because they are being critical on government, then what will you say about the likes of other media entities like all of the freedom, banner events, and so on? What would you say about that? I think the most important thing we all should be going for right now is to maintain the peace that we have in, and at the time now to start doing what we are doing. I think we are heading for something difficult and something that would not you know be too smooth and sweet in the interest of the Liberian people. That's why I think for me, I think the government should have find another way to do it than to have this shut down at this point.
Yeah, one would think that the government of George Weah would believe in press freedom, this government, because it was very, very vocal and critical under the Madam Lee's administration, very much so, for all of them that have been serving in government. But for them to see them doing the same thing today, you know, it's sad. It's a sad day for the media networks because the thing is, though, they're sending a clear message as to if you speak against us or about the ills of our government, we will shut you down. That is what that's the
But
kind of
but
message
but,
that they are sending, and this is not good
but I see
for
that
a democratic nation like Liberia. Let me finish. This is not good for a nation like Liberia uh, that models its democracy after that of the United States. Very, very unacceptable, and it's not good for the George Weah led government either, as well. Because the beauty of having the opposition is to tell you that you're not doing right, and this is what Spawn been doing. Not because when Spawn was on their side and talking about things in their favor, definitely what happened at that time was, oh, they had no problem with Spawn. So now, obviously, Spawn has taken the side of the opposition. Automatically, Spawn is now one of the worst bad networks, and I don't know why they would do that, but very, very sad. Edward, welcome to the show as well. But before I go to you, Edward,
Yeah, before that, I think
let me
I
go
got a
to
bad water
Jasper.
here. So before I take leave of you, are you there?
Yeah, Jasper, I wanted you on the ground there at the headquarters at the main station of Spawn. what activities do you see around there now? I heard that they were going to have a formal statement, the management of Spoon. Are they?
Are you there?
Yeah, Jasper. Are you hearing me? Jasper, go ahead.
Yeah, before I take leave of you, I was told that Spoon Network will issue a press release, which they will call journalists to come and do the coverage. But I can safely say, but this is not a good sound for Spoon Network. You know, in Liberia, we never had a history of institution, a media institution closing and coming back, and you know, within the twinkle of an eye. I think it takes time. It takes years, not even months, but it takes years for you to come back. So we hope and pray that Spoon Network can come back as soon as possible to be able to propagate like what Prince said. You know, several times they've been issuing this statement at the media press hearing. Whenever we go there, they will say that all those media institutions that are not meeting up with government criteria, with government policy and other things, and with government mandate, effectively you will be shut down. But I don't think this is in the case of Spoon FM. But Spoon FM is not. I don't think Spoon, but Spoon was given this rate because of I think deformation of character or damage, something like that. But I don't think it is an editorial policy of the government that really have this. But before I leave, I want to say we are still on ground here, making sure that any information that coming up, we will be able to report it, or we will be able to have a discussion later on the platform. But as it stands, I'm outside of the thing, and you know, Liberia, the rain is falling, so I beg to take my leave now.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Jasper. So, folks, this is I know it did not come as a surprise, Edward, because as long you are being critical on this government, they will eye you, and obviously, you become a target. Uh, so that's why you can. I think you can take off since you already said, or let me just mute you from your end, so to avoid all the noise. So what's happening is when you see previous governments, previous networks that were shut down, and how they took, or some of them up to today, they could not even give them licenses to come back on to operate. Uh, what's your perspective, Edward?
Well, first of all, I say thank you for the prayer this afternoon. And it's a sad day for the media, you know. In African countries and African democracy, you
Right,
always you always see these things happening. The government always think that the media is a threat to their survival, but the media is a help to the society as well. But like Jasper said, it is very rare to see media institutions shut down and reopen. The case with Holocaust, I won that case two several times, and yet we still the government is still saying to this of the year. But again, it is not with the government. My understanding is that it is Wilbur Smith, the former British guy, who took issue with starting Waterspoon, the school media network, for defamation of character and libel. So but we all know where Wilbur Smith comes from, and you know, school is in compliance of all those things you're talking about, primary, this and school is in compliance. So you
right.
got to, yeah, you got to find another way to get there, to get at them. So Wilmore Smith is the one they have used to get at them. I will be sending the rate in the chat room issue, the rate I will issue in the chat room so that you can be able to push it to see it. And it's Wilmore Pay who took issue with Mr. Waterspoon.
Yeah, so Mr. Waterspoon is not the owner now, the manager of Spoon Network. Waterspoon is here in the US. If you want to sue Waterspoon, why don't you sue him as an individual? Why should you shut the entire network down? You know, because thousands and thousands and thousands of people, Liberians, listen to this network because it brings the a lot of awareness to the country. Also, uh, it's a beautiful thing to have an opposition in any government. Uh, anyone it would be naive for any leader to think very much naive that you're running a government that where you don't have an opposition because the opposition is what's going to make you better.
Of course, you need opposition. The problem I have hammer is not issue with the see people who are not particularly journalists, if you take the media, and they call themselves panelists, some are supporter of government, some are supporter of opposition. The kind of messages that they use are now actually sometimes kind of a platform. For me, it is the same radio stations, it is the same media platform that they use to channel the messages. Like for example, you have Kev Hassan. Kev Hassan is a CDC guy who is saying
Yes,
the very
yes,
school and say a lot of things. You have one street, you have the closing argument guys. These are not journalists, these are
Yeah,
police
yeah,
officers, parties. So they said on the radio, they say things politically, they're not saying from the
it
journalistic
is.
point of view.
You are so right. You are so right, Edward. It's highly politically motivated from our standpoint, from all indications, because we're saying, okay, what do they do? Are they going to shut down the media institutions, the platforms, the network where Kev Hassan voice is sounding every day, talking about other people, speaking against Spoon and other networks and other individuals in government? They're talking trash about Joseph Numa Boaka every day. Why don't they do that? So that is the balance. It's missing. And in fact, when Spoon Network, when they used to favor Spoon Network and Spoon Network used to talk in their favor, there was no problem. It was all Hail Mary. Spoon Network is the best network. Now that Spoon has taken a different turn, they're becoming a different enemy. I'm very much interested in seeing
I
that
think
rate. So if you can drop it down in the chat room, that would be good. Come on, come in, Prince.
I, I,
Yeah.
I, I think you are right, CU, and I think you and Edwin lay all of the basis for this discussion because like every reporter stated, you know, people, give the opportunity to people who are not media practitioners, to run radio stations and other media platforms in this country. I think sometimes, you know, the message that they propagate, is not very good for the interest of the audience and that of the country. Like you said, when Kev Hassan and other folks from the CDC was using our platform to propagate their issues, the platform was considered one of the best. You know,
Yeah,
when Samuel Tuet allegedly have call the folks from the Spoon Network to get them 50,000 in order to propagate the issue of the government. The network now have problem. Now the network, the government is understanding that they are turning to the side that the other people feel that it is in the interest of the masses. They want to start having problem. I think uh, there's in a week also you will see a very huge protest in this country, that will be defending the side of the Spoon Network because this platform is greatly helping other Liberians, who are those that are considered to be in the rural part of Liberia, and listening to the platform. Sometimes the information, you know, the information helped me a lot. And this individual who is one way or the other humanitarianly aiding some Liberians. A total of last year and this year, he brought care, motorbike, other things for other Liberians. I think that was a wonderful time, and the government coming up at this time, I think the plan was not correct, and I see trouble coming if the proper mechanism is not put in place to curtail what is going on. I see trouble prior to the October 10th election.
wow, wow, very interesting. Edward, come in.
Yeah, I'm trying to get sorry.
Oh, I see you sending me the
Okay.
stuff, right?
Yeah. So like Prince was just saying, at this critical time in our elections, the regime keep shooting herself in the legs. while we await the real issues behind the closure of Spoon FM. But you know, our society is a electric society. The message out there is Spoon, the closing Spoon out was Spoon, they're talking the truth. Now some people will fear. And pro regime people will say Spoon is being shut down because Spoon is lying. Now you know Spoon has followers. Spoon came to the basic Spoon Uno, which is what Spoon has been doing some humanitarian job across Liberia, helping people. You know, you call, you see, you bring some, you answer some gospel question, then you give money. That has been able to attract the listeners to this media network. So situation like this for the government, it just create more noise in the country. It just make the government need a calmer environment ahead of these elections. So people get difficult and uncomfortable about them. But situation like this just make the country more noisy and just make people different about the issues that matter. Look, now you know they have pro-government regime, yeah, and pro-government really sitting, yeah, like freedom everything.
Yeah.
Gabriel goes will sit there and say a lot of things about Brownie, say a lot of things about the poor. Say a lot of
Yeah, you're right.
we are hardly did nothing about did nothing for ya. He followed Thomas Fala. Maybe we would believe that he registered him for ya because of Thomas Fala business. He then there. He one of those. Even when people were complaining, there were reports about civil servants and civil that were talking in for ya. He was on a radio after he left. I say he didn't see any. The media institution exists. They have journalists who call themselves journalists for Finabolo. They call rescue mother. They might have a journalist point the world rescue mother for, for Finabolo. When I herself who point out where there were journalists who know how they stand there. I'm an executive master who point out that phrase rescue mother. So you see, they have to say nobody have issues like that. So you need a clean field. You don't have to get a bunch of noisy, people talking issues, people angry. You don't have to have a function like that. So it's another shot in the leg for their push to retain power. They just keep affecting themselves day by day as we go to power, as we go to elections, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I am looking at the issue, the sheriff issue, and this is not anything that is worth shutting a network down. Period. Right? From my perspective, um, we'll try to upload it up later. But let me just read just a little bit for our viewing audience. This has to do with Wilmot Smith Wilmot Pay, former Deputy Director General of Information Coordination at the Liberian Institute of Statistics and Geo Information Services of the city of Monrovia, right? And so Wilmot Pay is the plaintiff, and the defendant, the management of Spoon TV and FM communication network of the city of Monrovia, um, Stanton Witherspoon of the city of Monrovia, um, and this is this is an individual case. This is a case. If a case like this is filed with the court, if someone goes and sue, the benefit, the burden of proof is on the plaintiff, the accuser. So this is a case that's supposed to go to court. It has not even been heard. This is just a citation, and police and other institutes, government forces are moving in to shut down a network. If you go and sue me, if I go and sue you, and a writ of arrest or for defamation of character, because the reason action for damages, this is the reason why Wilmot Pay is suing. Action of damages for slander and libel. These are the two reasons why Wilmot Pay is suing the Spoon Network and Witherspoon. So it is left. The only reason is it is left with them to respond to the court, to go to court. But it was not, I think, in the purview of the sheriff to shut down a network until we can have legal. I'm not a legal practitioner. I can't talk about this, but this has to do with an individual suing. someone else. This is not the government of Liberia suing. This is an individual. So now, yeah, go ahead.
CEO, you just said it right, but I think this whole case, the whole issue of shut it down is just maybe like the government and opposition issues, because many a times folks for the government will always refer to Spoon Network as the network that gave folks from the opposition's opportunity to propagate their issues. But for me, I think Liberia is bigger than any political party or individual. Like in Liberia, there's a country like you posted yesterday. There's a country where you see people graduate from college, people with 2, 3 masters, and they can barely feed themselves. There's a country where you will not benefit from what you learn. So certain group of people, they just want to keep, putting themselves, imposing themselves on the people so that they can continue to amass wealth, but they and their family at the detriment of the ordinary people. So albeit whether Stanton Water School or accuse somebody or slander the characters of another person, I think the former CEO is not a owner of the network. The network is controlled by another person. So if Stanton Water School is in America and you according to you have problem, you can get to a very soft rather than the institution. Like every and you just step up. This is we are in an electionary period where the vice that not everybody for the opposition or not everybody for the ruling position. There are other people who are not for the opposition, they are not also for the ruling position, but they are carefully watching to see how things is going. So with this, they will come to the conclusion that it is true that the issue of mysterious death, the issue of my treatment of other people, they will start to understand that, because the message that will go out there will be like, oh, we saying the truth to you, but the people say some saying the truth is the closing us down, and people will just come to that logical conclusion that yes, I think or what the people say that true. Now we will go for the Unity Party. I think it will want to get more people to even go towards the Unity Party and other political parties than none of the CDC, because what they are doing now is a complete formulation of the ethics of journalism and the freedom of information as that they're posting that they continue to give to the Liberian people. I think that is not the right time for it.
So
not the right time.
Prince, I think
Yeah.
I think Edward is probably somewhere in the back. So what I'm looking at is this. Very, very interesting. Where did he go? What I'm looking at is Henry Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to do with women pay fine for damages for $3,500,000 United States dollars. $3,500,000 United States dollars. That's why women pay is filing a lawsuit for, right? And so, in the court of law, it says that again. Let me read it again. He said the plaintiff versus the defendant. The plaintiff is Mr. Wilmer Smith, former Deputy Director General of Information Coordination at the Liberian Institute of Statistics and Geo Information Services, versus the management of Phone TV and FM Communications Network. Wilmer Pay of the city of Monrovia, and also that of, I think I'm going to try to. There's a lot of noise on your. There's a lot of noise on your side. Maybe I'm gonna try to mute you until you're ready to come in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
trying to
trying to
mute you
leave.
so I can mute you and come in because I want our viewers to be able to hear exactly what this rate is about. If you're ready to talk, you can just unmute yourself. But right now, I just muted you. So the rate is against or far against the management of Spoon TV and FM Communications Network of the city of Monrovia. That's two. The Spoon TV and the FM stations. And the third person is Mr. Stanton Waterspoon. Those three individuals or entities are the one. The first we have the first defendant and the second defendant. And folks, those of you watching that have the legal minds, if you can call us on the number on the screen and be able to call in and come in and give and enlighten our audience, that would be awesome. We have the number out there on the screen as well, so that would be helpful for us. But I'm just looking at the rate as it is here and giving you my little insight of it. So now we understand why the sheriff went in and tried to yank all the equipments out. I don't know if they were to do that. I think what the sheriff what should have done was to lock the building, to tell everybody to get out and lock the building down and put locks to the door. I don't think they had any reason going into the different studios while live broadcast was going on and shutting things down. They themselves, the sheriffs, pulling wires, according to information, pulling wires from the servers, from the computers, and all of that stuff was taking place. I don't think that is not something that was they should have done in the rate. And this too has to do with training and education. Our people, our officers need to be aware. It is this idea and power. I will show you. And the government is talking, free speech is good. Free speech. I can say all I want to say. If I say something against you, you go and sue me. That's what women pay did. So all they need to do is for the network and Witherspoon to appear in the court of law and respond to it. You don't have to go and destroy equipments. Do you know how many Liberians right now with the rising costs of products, of or things, the markets, unemployment in the country? You know how many people Spoon Network alone employ? Young journalist people. So all those people, as long as this case drags in the court, they're going to go without pay. This is what's happening, folks. This is intended to clamp down on media institutions, knowing and looking at the timing. Few months heading to elections. They know very well that Spoon has been very, very informative and instrumental in propagating their messages on behalf of the opposition. We know that. But let me bring my colleague in so I can have his own say. My man, you need to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and come in. Are you there? I wonder what happened to Edward. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Okay, thank you, CEO. I think you have said it all, and I'm hoping and praying that they will go back in our process and have some reconsolidation, to reconsider that decision, because I'm foreseeing that this will have a negative effect on them, because I believe the world receive latches from the Liberian people for what they have done. This is not the right time. We all have to keep the peace. even if you have your differences with somebody, I think this is not the right time, but especially where people are living in a country where to get a daily, where it's difficult, the teachers are not getting paid, hospital has been abandoned by doctors and nurses on ground that they are not receiving salary, or the issue of drugs turn out to be one of the major, I think, bad, the major, the virus now in the country. Every blue corners of our country, young people are into uh, drugs, and sometimes to even move about the issue of security is one of the major concern here in Liberia. So coming at this time to start getting rid of media institutions, I think you are just, reiterating what others are saying about the government. You just making people out there to understand that, it is clear that the country is not saying the government is not in the interest of the people. Why it is true that sometimes the messages that parliaments speak or say on the platform, it has the capacity to cause confusions and chaos. But you as a government, you are there to always present yourself as the best. You are there to always
Oh, yeah, network issues. Go ahead. You can pick up from there, from how the effect that this is going to do to employees of Spoon, these journalists, Edward, how it's going to affect them as well. Are they taking into consideration, if you dissect this rate from what I'm looking and reading from, this is an individual suing an entity and another individual, and all they need to do is to go to court and file a bond, and until further hearing takes place. So this is not something that they have to go shut down the network. They just needed to go to court. As the sheriff show up, issue the citation, and they will appear to court and file a bond and continue their work until the hearing is done. Simple as it is. And then now the sheriff had us walk in there into all the different studios and literally, forcefully, yank all the cables out of computers and stuff, according to what we heard. You know, very, very, very interesting. What's your take?
Yeah, you got it right, and it's a sad day for the media as well. It's a personal issue, so just go to the court. What the issue is on. If they pull wrong, they will pay the damages. If they can't pay the damages,
Exactly.
then you shut them down because you file in a $5 million lawsuit. So they will look for the money and stand bond. They get stand bond and they can't pay the damages, then you shut it down. But you get we got one money because somebody say I file in for damages, then you shut down the media institution. That doesn't work in any modern democracy.
No, it doesn't. This is just ridiculous, though.
In any decent democracy. We're talking about the effect on the guys who work at Spoon. To be fair, Spoon has been one of those institutions that really been taking care of their staff. Spoon has been able to provide some of them cars. Spoon has been able to provide some of them the best of smartphones. Spoon has been able to make some of them committed to the job. So talking about private media institutions that really do well when it comes to paying, taking care of their staff. Spoon was even able to send one of their staff to Poland to get a degree. The guy is currently in Poland studying. So talking about a media institution, private-owned media institution that has been able to do some great jobs, some good things for the staff is Spoon Network. So imagine only three media institutions: Super FM, Fabric, and Spoon FM.
Yeah.
So there are a good number of employees there. So they've been able. I know some of them personally. They got some of the best gadgets you talk about. Because they normally go live. They have some of the best gadgets. They are somehow good, somehow well compensated. So if they are not on and not raising money, the manager is one of the good paid managers. Is one of the veterans journalists around here, Titi Kane, and some are some good. They've been able to do some great job. The media as a whole across Liberia don't pay. So if you have Spoon Network, I've been trying all his own way to help the media, those media practitioners. Economically, they will feel some is a breakdown for them. But let's see how it goes because I haven't seen anything in that rate. that weren't shut down. So
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
the
Normally,
government.
this kind of stuff as a trap set up, it happens on Fridays weekend, right? Even if you want to arrest someone, you're gonna lock them up for the weekend just to prove whatever you want to prove to show them. Then they're
Yeah.
gonna bail out on Monday and get out and continue until the case continue in the court of law. So
Mm.
this is what it is, right? So if what were they gonna do if Witherspoon was there? They were gonna arrest him and lock him up tonight until Monday they file a lawsuit or a bond or whatsoever. That's ridiculous. So in a case, the rate is clear. Wilma, this is an individual against an entity and another individual, right? And he's filed 35 million, 3,500,000 lawsuit for damages. It could be 5 million, 10 million, whatever it is. The court, the law is the law. The sheriff responsibility is to serve the notice. And as the notice is served, if they needed to shut the entity down, yeah, close the entity and lock the doors and shut the building down for the weekend. And then Monday, the lawyers take course. The law takes its course. The people will appear and maybe file a bond and reopen if it is granted by the judge.
Sure.
While business goes on as well, the proceeding, the court of law actions takes place. That continues. But the aspect of showing up, using force, shutting live broadcasts, and as I even heard from one of the broadcasts, one of our guys, they locked two other guys into the building. They locked two of Spoon employees into the building.
Satans for the state. So,
but when you see this thing, though, 2.5 months heading to elections, this is politically motivated. It's all about politics. They're trying to silence the voice of the masses. That's what's happening. Silencing the voice of the masses. Because you're right. At Spoon has the relay on 3 different networks over there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on 3 different networks. So it's very, very sad. And I think this is not even somewhere where the government of Liberia can come in, because the government of Liberia already is against Spoon. They don't like Spoon. The entire network. We've been.
But the government is behind the case now.
Yeah, the government behind the case. But and part of it too is some of the opposition people. I mean, some of them even are against the shutting down of Spoon. But look at this. If you look at the other networks that broadcast into the country, that accuse, that talk all kinds of nonsense and trash about the former vice president, who is now the main opposition leader, Joseph Numa Boakai. When you sit down and you watch what our friends in the media from the other side, talked about the Unity Party, the closing arguments. I hate to call names because, we're all in the same field. When you look at what Kev Hassan has to say, and he's given a voice to talk trash about reputable people in society, and the nonsense that he talks, that's ridiculous. Why wouldn't they shut those networks down? But because Spoon is now the one that is so critical on the government and all the shady dealings that they are doing to exploit the resources of the country, so now automatically they become an anti-enemy to the government. But just a few months ago, Spoon Network was in their favor. We saw every government official appearing and hailing them so much on the network. Just like Samuel Tua used to appear so much on Spoon. What now? Why now? This is just insane. So this whole thing on the press, since we all feel or think it is politically motivated, what do you think What message or messages do you think, Edward, this is sending to other media institutions?
Well, first of all, the media on CDC administration is weak, is lazy, because the media is economically strangulated. So when you have a group of journalists, real professional journalists, majority of them have left mainstream journalism, and the young people venturing into the profession are in a different era. You know, many of them are chasing money. So because they are chasing money, they have to play by the rules of the deep pocket politicians. So if you see journalists calling Finabono rescue murder, you know, journalists who are assigned at the executive mansion, you don't see critical stories. You don't see critical stories coming from the executive mansion, from those media, from those journalists. So the new era of journalism and those who are behind it want money, and as soon as you sit on the radio one or two times, you talk freely, you are a journalist. So the media is under attack. The media, with all of the money partners and other people are spending to train professionals, only few are standing up to the issues, only few are being ethical. So many of the media institutions here are not as critical as they're supposed to be. So no threat to them. Yeah, no threat to them. The way you see, because my Yuna, one of the reasons why there is so much attraction on the Spoon Network is because you have Staton Waterspoon, you have Eugene Fagon, the element, the names of the people on the Spoon Network, Al Hassan Fadiga, Dr. Richardson. You're talking about Rennie Gray. You're talking about the Gongolos people, Mo Ali.
Yeah.
They're not normal journalists, you know, they're not normal media people. So anytime they appear, they will be playing the political card. You're talking about you're talking about Abdullah Maumi, the guy who just do some investigation when the government said Coastal Highway, South African Development Bank will soon be starting Coastal Highway. He did some survey and the bank said, no, we don't know what you're talking about. So the kind of information in the air. Now, man, you feel this just last night Spoon was talking about how some Israelis were brought to the country to hack elections. So right after saying that the next day, and the next day,
the network shut down.
So the elements of people on the show, the kind of information they get, people like Fagon, right? Fagon was in the system. Fagon got people that provide information.
Right, and so he knows how the system works.
So you can't allow Fagon to have a platform where he will provide those information on. That's the whole thing. So many people will not tune into Facebook. Many people will not go to Facebook Live. They will not come to StreamYard. They will go to the radio stations because they can buy battery. They don't have the money to buy internet. You know, they can listen to the radio. So if I'm going to have a platform where he can provide the information, it's a threat to the government. If Waterspoon has a platform where he can express his views, it's a threat to the government. If Mo Ali has a platform, a widely listened to platform where he can express his view, that's a problem for the government. So that's why Spoon is being the center of conversation. So the other radio station, they have pure journalists. Pure journalists will not be able to say some of the things that Fagon will say. Pure journalists will not be able to say some of the things that Waterspoon will say. Pure journalists will not be able to say the things that Mo Ali will say. So it's a different ball game. So pure journalists will want to investigate. It will take time before they get what they want
to balance the story and all of that.
So Fagon will say that. So Fagon hear it, Fagon will fire it, and they don't want Fagon to say it. So it's the kind of a platform Fagon sits on. You have to get rid of the kind of a platform. Mo Ali and the rest of the folks. Mayuna, the regime don't have any panelists anymore on the Spoon Talk because Kev Hassan left the Spoon Talk. So almost everybody there, some from ANC, some from the Unity Party, some from the Gongo scam, some independent. So the regime think that the Spoon Network. So that's the reason why.
But that is why they have the closing argument, though. That's why they have the closing argument where you have people like Kev Hassan and all those other people that are on the other side. Because what they do as well is they're not talking against the government. They're talking against the Unity Party when they're supposed to be on the opposition side. They're talking in favor, mostly in favor of ANC and the we-are-led government. So this is where I see it's a beautiful thing for free speech, right? free speech to come in, as in you speak your own, I speak my own. If I speak my own and someone has an issue or problem with it, go in the court of law. But and then take me to court. Let the court deal with it. But don't come and shut my network down stupidly because you feel like you're in power.
Yeah, sure. But
That's a very
again,
good analysis that you gave. A real journalist will not just will be mindful and careful how to report because we want to balance the stories as carefully as possible.
sure. So that's the reason why you will not see these things happening. So let's wait and see what happens next. How Spoon will respond.
So,
How
so,
far going
so
to
where there's major networks and radio stations shut down, uh, what other major networks are there in the country for people to listen to?
Well, the coverage of Spoon is of late. I've been noticing some things. I just called one of my friends. There's another radio station that is widely listened to around the Pinsville Bell called the Cool FM.
Hmm.
But of late, it's like they've been jamming their frequencies because they've been grounding in some places. It's like they've been jamming their frequency and they're not been coming clear. Even the Spoon network is a complaint. Sometimes you just see LTA people around that building just in cars, sitting in the car, ensuring that there are many of the disappointing part is many of the radio stations in Montserrat don't go across the country. That's
Oh,
the
ERBC does, right? The government station.
even ERBC, it go across the country, but it's not played in every part of it. If you want to listen to ERBC, for example, in Fonjama, you get ERBC around Fonjama. You're not going to get ERBC in Foya, you're not going to get them in Kolau, you're not going to get them in Zozo. So besides that, many of
Wow.
the people, except
ERBC never used to be like that though. They used to go all over the country.
yeah. So except they are relayed by the community radio stations, they are in Banga, they are in Kakata, they are in Pikana, they are in. But when you leave from those major areas where their boosters are, you go to all of villages, other part of the communities and all of villages they don't play. So the community depends on their community radio station to really to get the information. So many people
Hmm.
tune to community stations. So besides the LBC, many of the radio stations don't cut across the country. Many of them are just somewhere around Kakata. Few of them you will hear some people calling them from Bon County, few of them from Magibi, Pommy, and then nearby counties. But to Maryland, to those far away places, it doesn't work. And besides, so they don't go far. So to talk about balanced media, you're talking about OKFM, yes, but then about to be balanced in the argument. You're talking about Cool FM, not Cool, but Prime FM, yes, a little. Besides that, the rest have size in the electoral process. The rest have size. From that tone, you know that they have size. So not too much critical. The spoon is being the more critical one
Yeah,
because
but
majority
Edward though, when you see what happened to Costa radio station, when you see what happened to what's his name, Ure radio station, you watch what happened to Patrick Hunter. What does this tell you? My man, you hungry? You gotta go for lunch?
the launch, yes, sir. I just really tired. That's all. It just tell you that you have to be mindful of the kind of environment you work. And that's why many media institutions are afraid. That's why you see all of the journalists are playing by the rules, all of them playing by the rules of the regime. Critical, but the regime, you gotta be very careful the kind of people you operate with. These are people who hate criticism. And the disappointing part about it is regime will come and go. So some of these days you will leave the public space, you won't come back to the same very media to start to do work for you. It's just a matter of time. We were here for a few years ago, we thought few years were long. We are in 2023, let's so many
Right.
media institutions are afraid to be very ethical. The reason there are two fronts here. The environment is not quite suitable, and economically there is no benefit. That's one. The media is
Mm.
poor. The media institutions just sustain themselves. Many of them don't pay their staff good money. Many of them owe staff. They're not getting money. So because of the poor nature because the media economy is too poor, it also affects the media. You find professionals will leave. When professional
Right.
leaves, amateur will intervene. These amateur don't get time.
Right.
A lot of young
They're looking for what they call cattle. Everywhere they go, they're looking for cattle.
everywhere you go.
And out.
A lot of young I got a lot of young people that are personally impacted. When I was in newsroom, actively writing stories, vocational school, I train them. A lot of them, I know them. You see them, you don't even see stories from them. They just, especially these days, you got Facebook Live. Soon they go to any program, they do Facebook Live. It's
Yeah.
journalism.
Yeah.
They think
Yeah.
they've done journalism. They think they have done journalism, and it is done. So they don't have time. Many of them just chase money. And this is why when the society is economically, when the media is economically poor, the microphone will only be at the mouth of the politicians. Only Capitol Hill people, only George Weah, only Bwaka, only Kumi will hear on the microphone. But you will not hear the ordinary people who are being affected by the policies of the government.
That's
Those
true.
in Nima, those in Lofa. The journalists not reaching out to them because they will not get nothing to the journalists. The journalist will get something from the politicians, so the journalist always highlight the political actors. That's not how it's supposed to be. So the journalists actually supposed to be going to villages, asking those people how the health center is in your hometown, what is happening, this one so and so place, what is going on, what happening to your schools. But it's not like that. All of the news, 90% of the news is just from Capitol Hill. If not politics, it's about one politician, George Weah or Joseph Bwaka or CDC or UP. So when the media is, so that's what we get. The media does not have a cash. His pool, his practitioners don't have anything. So the people who get it and the people will run behind so that they cannot
Do you think though? Don't you think? Because I think that should have an adverse effect, and you talked about it a little bit. The introduction of the new age, which has to do with the online, electronic, this live stuff, internet, where anybody with a phone can just go live on any platform and cover stories as they are coming out raw, unedited, as it is. And with this happening, does the government even has the ability to sanction, to silence the voice of the masses just like that? Because nowadays, I mean, with the power of the internet, information is flowing every second, every minute, fast. It is not like those days where everybody has to go to the newspaper and just read, trying to listen to the radio station or tune in your TV, but it's coming direct on your phone, whatever media gadget you has, it's coming straightly. Do you think this could be one of the reason, and it's going to be very, very difficult for the government to even put this under control when it comes to this kind of stuff?
What the government is playing a very good card. The introduction of new media, new technology, and social media has actually shifted the way news is broadcast, has shifted the media globally. But radio still remains a very powerful tool in the Liberian context.
Mm.
Radio is the most powerful form of journalism across Liberia. The newspapers try, yes, it's for the illiterate people who can read, but mind you, in an illiterate society like Liberia, the radio is listened to than the Facebook, than the social media. The social media is still among the same intellectual class, the same people who can read, the same people who take in the debate. Mm-hmm. But the thousands of market people who go to the market, the thousands of mothers who are down there, as they do their normal business, sit outside that little table, they do their normal, sit at normal kaya, they tune into the radio. That's a significant part, that's the most important part of the radio. So radio still remains a very significant tool in Liberia, though this is why radio stations are by themselves. They know the importance of the new media. This is why they have incorporated the new media into their style of broadcasting. As the man said behind the microphone and talk, the man is on Facebook Live. For other Liberian people who live away in America to be able to see him. For other Liberians who are away in Ghana to be able to see him. But on the majority level in Liberia, the radio still remains a very critical tool to us. The society is literate. Our society is literate. The problem is, you guys in the West, especially the US, England, Germany, all of you have a literate society. When they see fake information on Facebook, they know what it is.
Right.
They know it is fake. When they see truth, they know truth. When they see lies, they know lies. It is not here. So if the social media is a driving force of misinformation and disinformation. So the people knows that. So the people say, oh, gentlemen, They don't know that radio. They say anything they hear from the radio are true. Many Liberians believe. Now who talking and the radio talking? So they trust the radio than the social media. But then, majority of them, especially those in rural Liberia, Facebook is around granted. We just by the availability of social media, we in this part of the world has been tangled by the kind of a network that provide the internet services. In places like Lofa, in places like Grand Gina, in places like Meridian, in places like Sino. Internet is not going to survive easily there. You see?
Right.
Internet will survive in Monserrato, internet will survive in Picana, internet will survive in Banga, but even as that, majority of those people on the internet, they come on the internet, they got special time, they will not be there forever. But they got the ability to listen to the radio station for 2-3 hours. But they don't have the ability to be on the internet for 2-3 hours. That's the difference there. Yeah, much of the social media has an effect on the traditional media, but overall, you don't have the luxuries of time to just be on the internet. But you got the luxuries of time to be doing different work, to be doing different things at the same time, be listening to the radio. That's the difference. So radio still remains a very cardinal and powerful tool. So that's a very strategic decision to shut Spoon because Spoon have a very serious listening base, especially at night, especially the nighttime show. And you know about nighttime, a lot of people you now be on your internet on the smartphone, you be listening to radio late night in your bedroom.
Right.
See? A lot of people can listen. So by the time that show comes on the air, the whole country is silent. The whole country is tuning in. So it's a strategic move. They said, we can get them in a kind of a critical time, especially when the Spoon Network says to you, the regime have brought into the country is released to take up with the polls. There were similar allegations of the past like that from Martin Colley and other where he showed some pictures that there were some Russians that intervened. Even the guy who used to be one guy who used to be where we are, Sheikh Sakor. Sakor said we have to some money for the Russians and other things. So 3 months of the election, those kind of critical information, other media institutions don't have the world power. The first thing is the different CEO is Spoon is not looking for money.
Right. Spoon, especially when you are not being fed or supported by a politician or whatever.
Spoon is not looking for art from the government. Spoon is not looking for art from Lone Sasser or Orange Liberia. Like why all the other GSM, Orange Liberia, all the other races depending on Orange promo. It depends on Lone Star promo. They're looking for art. They're looking for public service announcement from government. They're looking for all the government. You all some of them, thousands of dollars, 40,000, 20,000. Government have not paid. Spoon is not thinking about that. So Spoon, all the family on Spoon, they are working class people. They're not looking for money to go pay staff up.
Right.
That's the difference. So the regime able them. The regime will not be able to compromise them. So say, man, you not compromise. We will not get your money to you. You only may not get money conversation. You may not get money talk. So that's what makes it more difficult. But the other people to compromise is easy. So compromise the other media institutions is a very, very, very easy task. You just tell one of them, say, my man, be to your relationship, we're not taking you there, but we'll give you 1,200, 1,300 per month. You look for one old used car and give it to the man. The man is okay, the man is already compromised right there. The man too change. But that can't happen to Spoon. That's the difference.
Wow. That is such a shocking revelation, Edward. That is such a shocking revelation to see that, and I think it's a result of a poor environment, economic system that makes it very difficult because sometimes it pushes one to the limit to compromise, just like you're talking. Where media institutions are not in the position to even pay. Because we've seen how far Spoon has come, and I mean I give them credit. They've come from a long way to be where they are. But if you're looking at running a platform like ours or like them network, you're growing. You have to exercise restraint, wearing, especially and professionalism, because you're coming in to stay. You have to know that you have to be professional. The people that support you are the Liberian people. When you go for the masses, the people, that's it. You are in business for the people, not for an individual. And this is causing a lot of problems, because we see a lot of these guys, politicians, opening their own personal private radio stations, and they have their own journalists that cover their own stories that they gave Katoto, that promote them everywhere they go. But when you have a network like Spoon, just like you said, where they're not in your pocket, what do you expect? They're going to bring out what they want to bring out. Look at this the breaking story last night that there are Israelis that were brought in and were lodged alleged at the Farmington Hotel and all of that stuff, you know, to help with the election. This is something, if anybody's coming to help with the election, the National Election Commission should be aware of, And these are the kind of things that breaks out information. When people suspected that, according to what I heard, they have removed them already from the Farmington Hotel to an unknown location. So all of these things is geared towards manipulating the election. And this election is crucial because the Liberian people are feeling the weight, my brother. You that are in Liberia, it's no joke. It's not easy. And so, every market woman, every business person is feeling the weight. The rate exchange, the money exchange rate is going up high. The prices of rice is going up high in the country. Everything is just escalating. All odds are literally against the government. Can you imagine this kind of stuff? So the government is doing everything it takes to not just go down like that. And someone has to be that voice. Someone has to be that voice for the people. But so before we end this broadcast, what's your perspective? Before I let you go, what's your perspective on the entire political system? What's happening in the country, the wave. Right now, from what we're saying, it almost looks like it's going to be a two-man race between the government and that of the Unity Party. What do you think?
Of course, that's how our elections will be. And I'm one of those who are very much happy about the way the politics is going in terms of the two-horse race. Mm-hmm. When we reach a point where we get two political institutions hitting at the top, it was a fair chance to make a very good decision, because when you got too much of quality people into the race, it gives them tough time to decide who's to pick. Right. So there are two ways of being involved. Either you are a Unity Party man, or you are a citizen, or you are an independent man who will go for either. They say at this critical juncture, I will go this way or I'll go this way. But there are independent people like that. But the issues, relatively when it comes to the political landscape, it's not like the problem is not with Unity Party, the problem is not with CDC. The problem is with the people who we elect. They have the problem. Because mind you, I just CDC, I just letter there, CDC. The other one, I just UP, those are letter. It is the men in CDC, there are good people, there are bad people. In Unity Party, there are every political institutions have people like that. Right. But the politicians are very crafty. They will make you to believe that the other party is a problem. Then you will follow them. At the end of the day, the very politician who are telling you that party, now go party, go see again, you cross over to that very party that he was telling you that the party was not a good party. So it's just a given point in time he wants to hustle. So like, I will listen to one guy last on the radio, the music. I just hate to hear UP name. And the general was asking you why you were there before. Why now? Because he wants to survive. The whole right. Survive. So that two things for the politician wants to survive, the ordinary people wants to survive. So the politician are not who's supposed to be thinking about survival. That the ordinary people supposed to be thinking about survival. The politician is supposed to be the man who is supposed to be setting the stage. So it is a two-horses race. Yeah, Joe Parker has been able to come by very strong. I'm still wondering how he managed to pull the kind of surprises he put in turn to even make himself, to even put himself at the level of being considered as one of the top candidates in the election. Because
he's playing his political card really good.
Because many thought that because Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has been very, very much able to break that political institution down. Many of her followers, or real followers, mind you, when she won election, she just ruled on the back of the Unity Party and the back of GMP through Lofa to win election. She has now had faith in the political institution because This why when she won, she had to go for most of her friends abroad in different part of the world to bring them to get into the job. When she was leaving, particularly all of them left. She instructed all of them who to support, and up to now she's still doing it. She called some of them to go to Alexander Cummings. She had brought some of them to contest in the election. Just more Ali Tapper, the rest of the remainder United Party people, they've been able to do some great job to present their party in a very strong position. So we will give them credit. They've been able to do some great job to make United Party viable. United Party as an old political institution, among all the political parties right now currently in the country, making headline, United Party is the oldest as far as I'm concerned, because it came way back 1985. It's still been around 1997, they contested, 2005, 2011, 2017. So they've been around, they've been a very strong political institution. So many people have been reaching them up that they didn't do anything, but the way they have managed, to be honest, the way they have managed to put themselves.
Let me hold you right there. Let me just before I lose my train of thought. You just mentioned something, Edward, that's so important. How Liberian politicians build institutions around themselves, instead of building the institution that if you leave or you die, the institution continues, live on. They build political parties around themselves, which is sad, very, very sad. And they only surface during election time. How do you intend to run the country when you don't have a political institution that is grounded, where the people feel that this is our political party? That's the problem. Because if you are the source of money, and that's why I'm looking at the ANC. If right now ANC Alexander Cummings withdraws and he say, I'm not doing anything, it crumbles. It crumbles because he is the main financier of that entity. That's it. Everybody's just following.
Everybody's just following.
Everyone is just following instead of building an institution where the people make decisions. Look at what happened to Liberty Party since the demise of Bromsky. That's what's happening. When will our political leaders learn this? That if you are serious about this, build an institution. So when you exit and you're gone or you're not even there, the institution lives on. That's very key. I just wanted to interject that in.
No, it's a serious issue. It is not just Liberia politics. It's in the business climate of Liberia. It is in the business people. It is in different institutions. In the West, where you people are, you see some companies in America with 2, 3, 4, 5 shareholders. It's not like that in Liberia. Everybody wants to do
their own thing.
One man won't get money, open your own business, won't sit down there. You will not see 2, 3 business person, but maybe you can bring some kind of 500,000, maybe 500,000, then go be some kind of farm. This is a share, this is my share, that's my share. So that it can grow.
Yeah.
It's like that in the countries. Like that in most of the businesses, most of the top businesses in America, other people got shares in it. 10%, 15%, 20% shares in it. They invest in it.
And it grows fast too. Really fast.
It grows fast. But here in Liberia, one man wants to be moving he want to get a farm. Sometimes he goes, he open a farm that he alone can manage. But yet and still, he's not able to incorporate other people to venture so that the business can grow further. So it's not just about the politics. The same way they build a political institution only around themselves, that they had the business climate looking. Only the men want to get a business. Besides that, nobody else gets share there. He turned it around. He turned it not able to do. He also go a business break down. Oh, look at Tommy. Look at a lot of guys of every money. Why he breaks down? Because he was alone. But if you're doing a joint venture to where other people can share, putting ideas together, you're moving forward. You don't want to be having a business breakdown just easily.
No.
You have a country with the economy moving, but everybody wants to do that. They wouldn't even know to get the government, steal government money, keep them, come back to the people again, ask for power to perpetuate and stay. So it's the same way. So you go to the CDC. CDC is built around where? We are used to disaster. If we have tomorrow, we have these CDC. I told our guys in was on CDC friend. I said, the party tried. Early left the free. The party managed to go to second round election. and they stay around 14. I said, for CDC, it will be very difficult when George Weah departs. I said, it will be very, very difficult for you.
Yeah, it will be very difficult.
First of all, what helped United Party was that when Ellen was leaving the stage, United Party brought forward and as two statesmen. You may have problem with United Party, but you don't have problem with him. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You get problem with United Party, oh, the party coming for 2 years, but you don't have problem with Joe Buckeye. Even some people who did not vote for Ellen voted for Joe Buckeye when he contested to be president, because he brought his own personal character on the board.
Right.
So let's say George Weah gone. Who after him in the CDC that will be that character free of corruption, honest civil servant. That people will say George Weah is no more around. Let's go for McGill. Can they possibly no?
Samuel Toy.
Can we go for? Will we go for 12? No. As far as I'm concerned, I have not seen any finance minister that is popular in any poor country. The finance minister, no finance minister that can get popular in any poor country because you will take all of the blame of the country. If I want you talk, I won't hear you because it's always economical issue on your head.
Right.
So will you bring to a poor bad to it? No. So who is that character? Apart from free popularity, because we have possessed nothing for popularity. Apart from that popularity, who is that character that is honest, that's sincere? Because I remember was in the season, there was a job we have with us, after job we had, we're not going to see this 2 years. I remember was in that season,
yeah.
So who will CDC bring? Who will CDC bring that convince the Liberian people that this man has an employable character, don't mind a party, don't mind party, don't follow party, vote for this man. The way United Party managed to put some 400,000+ votes. By telling Liberian people 500,000+ votes in the second round, by telling people they don't mind UP, Joe Buckeye is a good man. And up to now, UP has been able to choose Joe Buckeye to make their case and be one of the formidable political institutions in 2023. Who do they have? They got no one. All of them have mortgage, all of them have joined the fray, they mismanage the state resources, all of them, one way or the other, have stinged their character, so they didn't get nobody.
Right.
So the way United Party played their card and was successful with Ellen and keep back with Buckeye, they lost though, but they managed to force the second round and still force it. I don't see it with the CDC after we had a sitting with the MPP after Taylor left. Nobody was available because all those who can be in the party, they can just be behind one man. No, they can be having the vision that they too can be president for the country.
But look at MPFL since Charles Taylor left.
Yeah. Not
MPFL.
None of them can have the vision that they party what we in, I can be president. When they men leaving, I can make it. None of them can have that vision. So at the end of the day, they will just be there. Everything the men say, yes, they all join the board. When the men depart, they all depart and they're gone. They got no space in society. So that's it. You see? So there's no political ideology. So at the end of the day, no principle. All the politicians, and the first thing is, one of the things that weaken the political institution, today CDC is leading. Everybody won't follow CDC.
Yeah.
Poor leave for ANC, poor big cake. So morally, there is issue with morality. Tomorrow when different political party come again, CDC and the rest of the other party dead and gone, everybody join that political institution. That's how it's supposed to be. If you are a sedition, you are a sedition. That's a principle, that's a belief. If they want to get you a job, let them get you a job on the basis of your intuition, what you know, your experience, the thing you bring to bed, how you can help the country. They cannot be on the basis of American job.
Wow. That is so true because the building, and it's not only those political institutions built around themselves, right? The same thing, Edward, the same thing, comrade, it's happening now even in the very media landscape that we're talking about. Instead of people building institutions, because it's difficult to fight an institution and it's easier to fight an individual. That's why people can't fight government. It has to win government cases when you're fighting government, because a government is an institution, right? So the same thing goes. If you sue Unity Party, you're suing an institution. If you're suing a bank, that is why when you go to the bank, you go borrow money. When the bank sues you, you're in trouble. When you sue the bank, how can you sue them? Because you're suing an institution. So the issue, where am I going with this? The issue of Spoon Network, we see in the indictment, Spoon Network is who? And an individual. Stanton Witherspoon. Actually, when you look at it, it's 3 defendants. Right? 3 of them from the rape, not from the rape, from the citation. Defendant 1, defendant 2, and Stanton Witherspoon, who is defendant 3. Defendant 1 is Spoon TV. Defendant 2 is FM Communications Network. And defendant 3 is Stanton Witherspoon. All of these people are tied them into an network. An institution. Do you guys think, and welcome to the show, Jasper, do you guys think that Wilmot Smith stand a good chance of winning this case?
They will prolong the case. You will not hear the case. Because if you post in a play that, so you'll just be running behind it every day. They prolong the case. That's what they want. Nothing else.
Wow. So just to delay, just to shut them down for until the elections are over. Interesting.
Like what Edward is saying, I think he just said it right, because the institution will be delayed. I can assure Spoon Network that the network will not be on until this technical election is over, because if you look at in the case of
you can't say that you're not a judge.
No, I'm not a judge, but we've been looking at the media institution have been shut down by this government and sent them. They haven't come back. Are you discussing the likes of Root FM, a Patrick Warner who won his case, who also was indicted by this government, went through the process of registering his media institution and get all of the documents, but although he did not give him a chance until he went to court, and you saw how the court process, it was dragged. It was very, very dragged. At the end result, you could not find anything. And this time around, it is about this time he's trying to come up with such to open his radio station. So I'm not praying that our Spoon Network should not open. I'm not praying. But we've been following the track record of media institutions that have been closed by government, and we see the delay in the process. Up to now, Root FM. How long? For how many years? Pretty close to 2 years now. Has it come back? No. So we are laying scenarios on past record about other institutions that have been closed by government, and they are not come back. And like what Edward said, the process will be delayed. The government will delay this process until I think if there'll be a new government, whether it will retain or it will not retain, but I believe that next year will be the time they will really get into this magnitude for this case. But I don't think they will really do it at this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So this is a planned strategy. Probably the government is behind the scene as well, because Spoon has been very, very vocal, very, very critical on national issues, very, very hard on the we-are-led government, very hard on the government officials. And so one would say this thing is And with the rumors we've been hearing, one would say this thing has been in the works, finding ways to shut it down, especially when you have 2.5 months left to leading to elections. It's a huge army, that they have shut down. But the way they go about shutting it down is to me, I mean, you can't do that in a civil society like here in the U.S. Because if I say something against you or whatever, I'm mindful of what I said, whatever it is. If you feel offended, you'll take me to court. When you come with a lawsuit, to my house, that does not mean you should shut my house down. You sue me as an individual. It is left for me to appear to go to court to respond. But if you sue me, an individual sue me, and then you bring the citation, and you say, get out of your house. Since I sue you, the government sue you, so individual sue you, get out of your house. Give me the keys to your house, or I'm locking you in. This is the case with Spoon. Spoon is yet to appear to respond, to appear in the court of law. Right? You sue an individual. Stanton Waterspoon is sitting down way here in the United States of America. They know that is a battle that they will not succeed. So suing the Spoon Communications Network and Spoon or TV is just a scheme. It's set up to shut them down. That's why it is. To silence the voices of the people. And it's important that we know that there are other opposition networks and platforms that are on air, blaspheming, propagating false information out there to the Liberian people as we head to these elections. That's what's happening.
Yeah, but let me comment a bit. You see, one of the team we should be careful with. We that have a media platform. We should be careful as to who we make panelists on our Vera platform. We should be very careful as to who we have as panelists on our platform.
Why?
You don't take politician, down how politician and place them and place your institution into their hands. And, I'm not criticizing Spoon Network, but when they started this whole process of that Spoon Talk, where they have a scope of politicians, that how politicians that were on that show, at the end result, you saw how the entire Spoon Network broke apart. A lot of claims and counterclaims were coming back and forth. And if you have an independent platform where you don't have politicians as panelists, but you have professional journalists or professional individuals who are not in the body politics, who are not fully in the body politics of our country, and you have them placed on your network, and you stand to benefit. But if you place them on your network and they start to propagate and going against and going for, and then those who have the power to shut you down will definitely try by all means to bring you down. And you saw how Spoon Network had that issue with Kev Hassan, Sentimolin, all those guys who are now on the closing argument when they were there. And these are different politicians who support different political parties and who have different views on the platform. So if you have that, and that show was one of the major show that people really used to turn out to watch.
The thing is, Jasper, why was it not an issue then? Because at the time we have people like Ben Sanvi, all those other guys, Dr. Peabody and Kev Hassan, all on the show, pleading their cases in favor of the government. It was not an issue for the government. Why not?
But that you are talking the same thing.
To leave. They left by themselves. They defected. They left their own man. Someone you claim to be your buddy, your friend. From that person falls in trouble, then you walk away. I question your friendship in the first place. That's it. Because if you are not a true friend, a true friend is the one who stands by you in times of trouble, in times of need. When you're in trouble most. But as soon as it happens, they ran away. Those guys defected.
And like I'm saying, this is a lesson for we, the media practitioners. We that have a media platform. This is a lesson. We should be very careful as to who will make panelists on our bureau platform, even on our talk shows. We should know who to place in key positions. And like I said, this platform or the Spoon Network was one of the Spoon Talk was one of the listened to by the Liberian people, both Liberians and those who in the diaspora. So at the time when Ben Semdu was panelist at the platform, he was there talking about government. He was sometimes against the government, and he was sometimes talking for the government. While you have Kev Hassan, who are also on the government side, and other individuals who are also on the government side, and you have those supporting the ANC and the ARP and other stuff. But that I can safely say that this is a lesson for we that own media institutions, that we should know who to place on our video platform as panelists, as talk show hosts, as whoever you think that could be on your platform. This is a lesson for us. The government will haunt you because they started to balance their information. But a time came out when this Hulu Barrow came among them, and they decided to switch. And claims and counterclaims started to come in. And this is where they were not really in full support. A few days, if you want to Spoon Network, they are not ready. They are somehow, with the opposition. And the government and the ruling government say that this network is not in our favor. So they will use any means. They will use any power, or they will use anybody, to run behind you, and so that they can get at you. And we've been in the media, we've been hearing this, that Spoon Network will be closed down. Spoon Network will be closed down. And so many times, and so many occasions, we heard that in our media chat rooms. And today, it has come to reality.
Let me put this up for our viewing audience. This is the citation that came from the court. This right here, that was served today, the Spoon Network, and that of the Stanton Witherspoon. I receive it, and it's not too clear. It's not even good for you guys for your reading over there. Let me see. So it says, folks, welcome. Though we're talking about we've been on air talking about the clamping down on government on media institutions in the country, especially now that we are heading to elections. Liberia, these elections are serious, they are critical. And here at Top TV Media Network, we don't take sides, we discuss the issues as they are, we bring truth to power, speak truth to power. And this is why we have always not want any political leader, this network, this platform to be in a pocket of any political leader, because this is what happened. As soon you do that, you take sides. You're on one side, and then instead of being on the side of the Liberian people. So this is the affidavit, the citation that came from the court. The plaintiff is Mr. Wilmot Smith, the former Deputy Director General for Information Coordination at the Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geo-Information Services. He is the plaintiff versus the management of Spoon TV and FM Communications Network of the city of Monrovia, first defendant, and Mr. Stanton Witherspoon, also of the city of Monrovia. So this is what was released out there for us. It is Mr. Wilmer Smith from this citation who filed a lawsuit for damages for slander and libel. So these are the two reasons. Defamation of character. That's what that is. Lying. Wilmer Smith filed that this network has lied on his name and it has defamed his character. And so he's filing a lawsuit for $3,500,000 for damages. $3,500,000 for damages. So in any given, let me bring this down. In any given situation, Jasper, in any given situation, from my little understanding of the law, because I'm not a lawyer, when someone files a lawsuit and the sheriff from the court comes and issue the citation to you, if the court needs you, it is not showing that present the living body of Stanton Witherspoon, because it will indicate that. I didn't see that. The court will normally say, you are hereby instructed to present the living body of such a person. That is an arrest. So when the sheriff shows up with a writ, they will arrest you and then they present you to the court. That's what happened. But this is an individual, Wilmer Smith. This is an individual who sued an entity. And so the only mediator there in between there, the only best person that's supposed to be neutral in between is the government. So the government served them. And in the process of serving them today, for those of you who are not aware, the sheriffs went on the grounds of Spoon Network, according to what I heard, forcefully made their entry into the building while live broadcasts and other things were going on. And they just literally themselves unplugged all the wires, the cables, or whatsoever, and just shut the network down. I think that is an overreach of power. Because normally when you serve someone, and notice, this is not the government of Liberia. I'm looking at it face value the way it is. It did not say the government of Liberia was a Spoon Network. This is an individual who sued for defamation of character. Right? So in this case, I feel like all they should have done was, even if they had the intention of shutting the network down, tell the people, y'all please leave the building and put the locks to the doors. Let me come Spoon Network could come back and sue the government for damages. If any of their equipment was destroyed, missing in the process, they have the right to sue the government for damages too. They could do that. For the fact that the sheriff made their way and touched the equipment and unplugged all the wires and cables and stuff in the process. Come in.
Yeah, let me confirm that I was though I was not on the scene, but I went and I spoke with one of the administrator. You know, before they enter the studio, you have to get to the administrative staff of the institution. And one of the administrators confirmed to me that probably the sheriff entered the premises of Spoon Network and then enter their various offices. I just told them to shut everything down and leave the premises on only the security that are assigned at the network should still at the entrance of the network. And I went at the front of the network. Though I did not enter in the premises because nobody was allowed. Even those who were working at the Spoon network were all outside of the fence. Right? They were all outside of the fence. Only the security apparatus were at the entrance. So I can confirm that they bought into the premises of Spoon network. And without prior notice. But what I don't still understand here that is if somebody sent a writ of arrest or writ of what, does it have anything to do with institution? Because if somebody is, like you said, for damage, I think the network itself cannot be shut down. At least there are people in authority. You have the management, you have the CEO, you have those who on the leadership board. I think some of them are the code, and hear from them and to let them know what really happened before shutting the entire network down. But to just come because somebody sue on network or a damage, a defamation of character, and then they just shut down the entire network. I believe it was not fair to Spoon network. It was not really fair to Spoon network. Even the individual who sued the network, I don't think the court should have looked at it in another dimension. That look, this is the defamation of character. We understand, but I don't think it's necessary that we will shut down the entire network down and the 3 networks down. I don't think it was in the right direction of the. Well, I'm not a judge, but they know what they know best. They know what to do best. But I think in my own mind, it was not right. And they never treated a Spoon network the best way.
So I just received a statement issued by I don't know if it is official, but it's a statement issued by the Unity Party chairman, not chairman standard bearer, Ambassador Joseph Mbwakai.
Yeah, I think it's posted on our platform.
A special statement from Ambassador Joseph Mbwakai Senior on Spoon network closure. And today we continue to witness a troubling pattern of the WIA administration suppressing the independent press through kakistocratic means. The most recent casualty of this assault is the Spoon network, which includes Spoon FM, Fabric FM, Super FM, and their online TVs, which was forcefully shut down this morning due to the government of Liberia's inability to tolerate dissenting opinions. Meanwhile, pro-regime media outlets known for spreading hate messages are given free rein. Unfortunately, this incident is not an isolated one. Punch FM and Roots FM have also experienced similar attacks. These media organizations dedicated to maintaining their independence have steadfastly refused to yield to the coercive demands of the WIA government. And then the statement continues, but I just wanted to read a little bit of it for our viewing audience. Oh, you're coming on the show. I'm tired of the show. I'm tired talking. The show coming in. The CEO hungry, and you're coming on the show. So that's a statement that was issued, and if this is politically motivated, I think every well-meaning organization that speak, that talk, that are in the interest of free speech will condemn this act. But again, too quick to say, because the lawsuit is against is from an individual. But the way it is carried out raised a lot of suspicion. The way it is carried out raised a lot of concerns and suspicion. And Here is it. The government of the opposition is speaking. Very sad. It's a sad day for, just like Edward said, for the media landscape of Liberia, where we are in those days. Gone are those days where government will just come out and just because you can't control. There's so much. Yes, there's so much going on the internet that information will not just lie. It will continue to circulate. But for the common man, the market woman, who not have the time to listen to radio throughout the day, when they go home at night, that farmer that is on the farm, when they get home at night, they only depend on those radio stations, those small phones that they have, the button phone that has radio station, where they can tune in and listen. This is not good. This is not good for the George Weah-led government. It's not good image, especially the way it is being carried out. Also, they're shutting them down without not facing the due process. That is my take on that. Because the due process
this is the Bureau.
The citation, let me go to court. If I'm found guilty, I pay the fine. Whatever the damages are, I pay. If not, I continue on with my network.
This is the Bureau. This is the Bureau. So things that are happening, they happen on a different level. Things that happen here are very strange. Yeah, strange things happen in this country. So for me, it's not strange to me to see such a thing happening in Liberia. But what I can say to our media practitioners, our media, our friendly, our media colleagues, we just have to be very careful as to how we go about doing our job and who to also place on our various platform. Yeah, we just have to be very, very careful because we don't know.
I don't think it's a matter of being careful. Once you're doing the right thing as a media institution and you are balancing your stories, there's no need to be afraid. There's no need. Once you are, especially when you know that when you know the side that you are on, and that side has to do the Liberian people. That's it. Once you are there for the Liberian people, the masses, the downtrodden, the forgotten.
Exactly so. Exactly so. Yeah.
Let me bring Prince in. Maybe he has his own too. What you got to say?
Well, thank you very much. You are then, even though the internet problem giving us difficult time. We started the show, but we were not able to continue because of the heavy downfall of rain and the high internet connectivity that we have in this country. But I want to extend my biggest thanks to you for the show and also to my director there, Mr. Jasper, for keeping all the good work. I think we are getting there, even though I experienced always seeing the high coming down of government on the media, but I think it is it is a bad precedent that the government is setting. We especially getting close to election. I think that's a bad sign for them. The electorates will use that against them. So I'm appealing, or I'm hoping that they will go back to their process and try to reconsolidate if there any chance of winning this election come October 10. Yeah.
Wow.
So please, what happened at what is happening at the actually today is the second to the last day for for the nomination process. So how is it on a
Yeah,
complaint?
in my brief intro prior to the beginning of the show, I highlighted and tell audience what we're unfolding here. As you may be aware, today is the last day according to the folks for the National Elections Commission. Today is the 14th of July, and the day set as the last day for candidate nomination process. So today, Fox TV is here live to bring you all of the happenings here, and we also witnessed the arrival of the ministerial league players. We may be aware that they also continue here. So the ministerial lens and mass is about to play, and the happenings here is different. On the overall security is inside here, everything is going on well here, and we are still posted here to bring you the happenings as it unfold. So that is one of the things that we that is going on here right now.
So you said today is the last day for you at the Samuel Canyon Sport Complex, right?
Yeah.
And you said today is the last day for what?
According to the information that I received, today is the last day for candidate nomination. Right. That is, if you want to be a president or senator or representative.
Hold on. Go ahead. Let me see. Maybe. Hello?
Yeah. So according to the information that I received, which I'm yet to confirm, that today is the last day for the candidate nomination process. So everybody everybody in rush to make sure that they complete their process on today. So I'm also here with a team of journalists from different media outlets. Everyone here,
hey,
we are all posted here.
Prince, hold on. We have a caller on the show. Let me get them live to contribute to what is going on. Right here, let me get this connected. Caller, tell us your name, where you calling from.
Yeah, I'm Hassan Douglas, calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to contribute by saying that this is a sad day in the Bureau, especially closing down media entities. It's very, very sad for our country. And people are just saying that we must be. This is a civil matter. Why would you just close down the media entity because they are the only entity that always criticize the government for their wrongdoing. And because of that, people are saying that, it's not the government, is we must pay. You chunk the right and hide your hand. And what happened? Definitely, it will be very bad. We should not do anything like which harm government go, government come.
Right.
Yeah, government go, government come. So, right, the CDC government, you're expecting what they are doing wrong, eventually harm them tomorrow.
So do you think, especially with a few months leading to the election, that this is politically motivated?
It's politically motivated, and they cannot stop the people from propagating the wrongdoing because they have other media entities. They will still go around to see out there. You cannot stop them.
Right.
You will do your own. But it is wrong because they know that home TV is a threat to them because they are the only one that express that talk more about the ill in the society. You look at Freedom FM, they always castigating, they always talking about the opposition. I mean, that lady, how do you call it? The woman that went to jail, the former justice minister.
Yeah, Moses Scott.
Yeah. Front page was always there. It was always there. Even this guy that operating the area, I saw him with a placard. I know that they want to do more arrest and what have you. They always. Why is it that front page? Because the front page is always part of the government and they don't do anything about them. Doing their other opposition media is definitely wrong. We don't expect this in the bureau. And if you know that you cannot make it, just leave it because they will not still help the president. No matter what he do, they will not still help him. Because the people are saying without propagating the reality the people are seeing for themselves, the Liberians are seeing, the suffering they are going, innocent killing, corruption.
So you're saying the
And,
Liberians have decided, regardless of this action, that it would not, it's not going to do anything or hamper the election of the opposition.
They've been targeting the radio station, but it's just like they want to do something who do not say this, not the government.
Right.
And women feel goes on somebody, they receive a letter the same day, at the same time you close down the end. They just want to do something and have the women pay. This is a civil issue. Let it go to
it is a civil matter. It is. Well, thank you for calling in.
Thank you too.
All right.
Thank you for meeting me.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So, CEO, like the caller was saying, you cannot be closing another institution down for certainty, then another person is doing similar thing like that. Apparently, they just using the women guy as a cover up. But we are in Liberia. We know what happens every day. Even some of us who are reporters, we get intimidated by folks from the CDC. Almost every time when we go to cover stories, sometimes they will castigate us to be, study political party journalists. And in school, I was told that our job is to serve as a mediator between the policy maker and those that the policies are fighting. So whenever we go on the field, we try our best to always try to be balanced. Today, some people will be, will be defending or jubilating because it is school happening today, but tomorrow it may likely be then. So what will you say? So the issue of people coming down hard on media institutions and government, I think it's just another backwardness of it's just another bad attitudes of postures of proving to the public that people only cares about themselves and what you can get for they and their children, not for the vast majority of the people. Because if you think you are doing something that is wrong, and the media is there to checkmate you, even though the opposition is there to also to serve as a to checkmate you, to be fire on your back. Because the media is also there. That's the reason why the media works in the interest of the people. The media is not there to create problem between the government and the audience, or the government or the people that the policies are fighting. But the media is also there to protect the ordinary people, the man-bearer that's selling in the market. I don't have the opportunity to go to President Weah, but I don't have the opportunity to go to the minister. The journalists or the media is there to take the information to them. So if you try to be critical to silence, I think we are going back to the same old thing that we came from, that a customer ought to be where we are today. And for me, I was born in the war. I was just 1 year old, according to my mother, when the war came. At this age, I cannot barely feed myself. You understand? So we are striving, to make life, the people trying to make the country to look, that kind of way. See, it's just too pathetic. I'm hurt. Seriously, I'm hurt. Because I cannot continue to be living in a country where, people effort or that what they learn they cannot benefit, or you have to be a politician, you got to sit by the wings and capacities of one person before you get fat out 10 others. To the extent that you go to the very hospital, people there, they can be discussing politics. See, I lost my little sister 1 year ago at JFK for a minor issue. You understand? For a minor issue. I was supposed to sell everything just to take care of my sister, and she never make it. She died to that place because you go there, you don't have money, they don't care for you. The issue of professionalism is not in this country. So I think President Weah in his government should think about the people of Liberia rather than fighting political war. Because I think the most important thing is to seek the welfare of people that you are governing. That's my point. When you start about Austin Kawa, when you start about Abraham Gosson William, when you start about other big people like on other platforms, saying all kind of things about other people. Don't do that. I'm frustrated, CEO. I'm very frustrated.
Free speech has to do with tolerance. The intolerance has to do with listening to the voice of the opposition, irrespective whether you like it or not. That's free speech. In as much we are held accountable for what we speak or what we write or what we say, but that is the essence of free speech. Living in the government, and it is the responsibility of the government to provide that environment for us, for the media, to know that it's safe to speak what you see, what you speak, but you can be held accountable for what you say. And the due process at the end of the day, you face the law if you are being sued by someone. But yeah, folks, thanks for following us. Uh, uh, um, we have come to the close of this segment of our broadcast. What's your final word, Prince, before we take off?
Well, I want to first say thank you to you. You are one of the many Liberians who lead this country, go out there, work hard for your money, and then try to come back and contribute to the global development of your country. Giving us some of us the opportunity to appear on such platform, I think is the beginnings of our prospect, and we want to say thank you a lot. You are doing well in Liberia, and I also want to call on the government to take politics out of this and do the right thing so that the Liberian people can be happy with them. I want to say thank you again, and thank you to all our many listeners. We will do our best. We will go from corner to corner. We will use our resources from our pocket wherever we can to bring the information to you, because that's the reason why we are referred to as the voice of the voiceless. So I want to thank you again, CEO, for the opportunity.
All right, folks. So yeah, there you have it. The voice for the voiceless. We go places where others do not go. We are the mouth for the mouth that does not talk for itself. Here at Top TV Media Network. Thanks for the special coverage today here. Those of you who contributed and those of you who follow us, we thank you. And we look forward to bringing you the Music Jam show and other live events. Keep posted. Tomorrow, also, Backyard Politics will be here. The White Cow is being undermined. So don't undermine the White Cow. These guys who are in power today were firm critics of the government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And so today, they are in a hot seat. And what they used to talk about, they can't take it. That's very interesting. They cannot take it. So be careful what you say out there to people, because tomorrow you might as well be in the same place, same spot, same hot water. That's the beauty of life. So let's build Mama Liberia. That's all we can do. Mama Liberia is all we have. Let's work in the best interest of the nation. We all are Liberians, one people, one nation.
You feel style on social media, you are welcome. No name, no blame. All the money blackout. You're not stopping. All the hate messages you preaching, you're not doing it to the blackout. You're doing it to the people, the poor people. The people you claim to love, the people you want to lose. Gotta work out, that on money work out, gotta see work out, one on money black out, 1 year before. Yo, yeah, gotta work out, that on money work out, gotta see work out, one on money black out, we're not here for it. Work out, making us hating one another, encouraging us to spoil our country needs. We should go and demonstrate, and I met you will be there, and I met demonstrating, yeah. Let me ask you, work out, when we spoil our country, who will help us cancer? They say, no, work out, say, no. When you bring out a hand, who help us settle. They say, no, what I say, no. Making sure to get power. We not yet for like kind of flower. What I get black out, the chance. We are one. We